Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to British Esports Student Champs. Today we've got a very exciting game for you today. This is Overwatch, which is exciting in itself, but this is also the final of the South Regional Eliminations Bracket. One of these teams will be going to the LAN Grand Final, and that is exciting. Yeah, over to Poppy. Poppy, what teams are we excited about to see today? I'm overwhelmed, clearly.
So we have the Odyssey Exeter team and also the Banbury Barbarians going up against each other today. Both teams have had a really, really good season so far. So be expecting some really, really good showing today from both of these teams. Both haven't actually dropped a map in the entirety of the South Swiss stage. However, obviously going into this bracket, there is no real significant differences either, to be fair. So entirely, could be a complete coin toss, to be honest, at this stage.
Just to interrupt you there, Puppy, I think you are having some mic issues, so I am going to cue us into having a look at the map for this stage. Just have a look. Okay, it looks like we're going to be starting off with Busan, our lovely Korean map, and our control point map as always. Now, we don't see a lot of Busan. We usually see the start off on one of the ones, like Ilios is a popular one, or also Nepal is very popular to start with. We haven't seen Busan in a long time, and I wonder if Puppy is back with his new microphone yet?
Hopefully. Yes, we are.
Brilliant. Okay, so Puppy, Busan, we haven't seen that in a long while, have we?
No, that's it. It's been a while since we've seen that map played at all, across the entirety of the season. So it could be a complete shake-up that we need to see to put something between these two teams, because at the moment there isn't a lot that separates them. Before, we were unable to hear me on the microphone as I was so passionately expressing my awe at both of these teams, who have had a completely flawless run throughout the entirety of this spring split, and also going through the South Regional eliminations as well. It's completely up to whoever turns up on the day, it feels.
Yeah, and speaking of the day that this game was played was not actually this day. Although we are coming live to you on the 3rd of April, this game is a pre-recorded VOD, so if you do know the results, please keep it under your hat in the chat. Thank you very much, because we want to join all the hype going through these games today, don't we, pups?
Oh, definitely.
So we are ready to go into the game. This is the benefit of having VODs. We don't have to wait around for ages for teams to get ready. They are already ready. And let's have a look at what is going on here. We've got some Macros here and some Junker Queens. Interesting. That Lucio, though, is always coming out on the teams lately. It's a very quick start for both teams. Speeding in a little bit quicker, though, with the Symmetra teleporter there. But here we go. It's the first fight around this well. Hang on, this isn't even Busan. I'm confused now.
Yeah, it's on to Ilios, which we do see, like you said, the Lucio, a much more common pick on the Ilios map with all their boobs and stuff like that. That being said, we see the first two that get filled up in the still feed as Nightfall taking out Green Purple. The Lucio battle already starting off early, and it looks like Exeter are going to be able to take control of this point first off of the bats as they clean up the rest of the kills.
Yeah, I'm just still getting my head around the fact that this isn't Busan, but yeah, nice clean fight from Exeter there. Nice and easy, just going in with that Ramatra, punching Jungle Queen, who these are both two tanks who need close quarters brawling, I think. But I think the close quarters brawling with the May and the Reaper is a little bit stronger on Exeter's side here.
Yeah, you're definitely going to be looking over towards Monsoon to get that EMP up relatively quickly as they possibly can. They're going to have to do so nice and well, but Nightfall doing a great job of healing there for the rest of the team as they're all in sort of having to jostle between the two of these. Pulse Bomb is off the mark from Noreg, unfortunately, unable to find someone there. Nightfall getting really, really low, but backed up nicely by Alzir, who's now popped the Coalescence, and they're going to look to collapse on top of this Bambar team, who are looking to back up now.
Yeah, backing up, nearly going all the way back to spawn there for the best. One fly little pick here is going to make all the change here. But they're just going to hide Exeter hiding behind the shield here, just going to go back around the corner and keeping themselves alive because they don't want to lose anybody either. Look at these ultimates that we've got coming on now. We've nearly got the kids in their path, which could be a nice fight for the Banbury here. All they have to do is activate it at the right time and not get picked.
So we rush into that climb, but we're going to see that ultimate coming up very soon for the side of Exeter. The Annihilation is what I talked about, but it's not really going to matter as Nightfall able to take down Seals, who is really struggling on that Queen to get that ultimate up to be able to counter it. Pulse Bomb thrown out very late into this fight, Noreg, maybe hoping to try and turn this one round, but it's not very much left. It's only the Kiriko and the Tracer. Tracer now going down, and the Annihilation has been popped. I mean, that's why not? You know, you're staggering people. You know, you may as well carry on doing so as D-Man John just seems to be pushing forward without much thought of anything else. Almost pushed them into the well there, but not able to do so. Monsoon now answering back. Clique doing their best to try and close this one out, but has been booped off the map by Green Purple. Now the beat has been used to try and flip this one back over. They are in overtime, so they have to do it now, or it's going to be never. And they are going to be able to do so with that elimination onto the Ramatra.
That was a long fight, but it did work in Exeter's favour there. They knew that they wanted to get that 99% back into that one fight territory, and they were willing to commit anything they could to get in there. Banbury had to put up so much effort to just get to where they are now. It's Exeter's game here if they can just time this fight. With so many ultimates coming up for the Banbury Barbarians here, this could go any way.
Banbury does have that really crucial EMP, which they're going to have to land it onto a few here that are going to be able to get much done with it. The Rampage has been used into the back, and there's an EMP onto 3, the entirety of them, but Nightfall didn't manage to get a nice beat off, but almost immediately negated by the Noreg and Co. As Noreg picks up 2. And they're going to finish off the rest of them. Coalescence popped by Alzir. A little bit of an interesting decision there, seeing as the entirety of their team has been eliminated from this fight.
Oh, potentially that's going to be a late stagger there under Alzir. Unfortunate. I was wondering if they were going to manage to get away there. And with the Coalescence being ultimately wasted as well, that's not great for Exeter. But what a combination. The Junker Queen going in with that Rampage, followed up by the EMP. Huge amounts of damage and no healing available for Exeter there. That's a brilliant combination for them.
Very well done. You can see exactly what their game plan is here, but without those ultimates now, are they going to be able to keep this one up and push it over the line? It's going to be very much down to these next few seconds to see whether or not they do. The Kiriko has popped out the Kunsino Rust. It seems to be working for them as Noreg has found both of the supports. That's huge. D-Man John is trying their best to stay alive throughout the entirety, but a really nice pick up from there from Noreg. I think it was 4 during that fight for them.
Yeah, Noreg is really putting on a show here today. Good old Tracer show during that EMP as well, because the amount of damage that they could put in. Tracer's guns usually a little bit of a tickle, not enough to take people down, but when they're under EMP and Rampage, that's easy pickings for Tracer. Ready with that pulse bomb to get an early pick now as well, just looking for the next target. Oh, it's sick! Oh!
Oh, nice pulse bomb onto D-Man Johns. Has to pop the Annihilation to try and stay alive on a slither of HP, but the pulse bomb was enough to be able to deal enough damage. And unfortunately, that ult from Clique is not going to be enough as they do take the first point to Banbury.
I'm a little bit surprised by that, the way Exeter handled themselves up to their own 99% mark. I thought they were probably going to be the lead runners in this, as Banbury just couldn't take the point, but as soon as they did, that was it. And, you know, they did not want to let that back go again. And that was a brilliant combination of ultimates and Noreg actually popping up on that Tracer. But it looks like Say might have something to say about that as they come in with a Tracer duo potentially in this fight. And it looks like, in fact, the whole team might be changing to a little bit of a mirror here. We're thinking about Sombra and the Junker Queen perhaps on Exeter, perhaps not. No, we're going to get everyone else nice and quick with that Smetra teleporter there, and both teams clearly going to go absolutely ham to the point with the Lucio. It all depends who's going to trip on a block now and not make it there first. But it looks like it's going to be pretty even in terms of speed. But all those packs getting hacked out by Monsoon. If they hang around over there, they've got all the extra healing to come in here.
Be looking for Banbury to be playing around those health packs for sure. This coming fight as they do have it as Demon John's now going to try and jump in with that shout. It tries to isolate out Seals, and Seals is going to fall down to it. It seems very reminiscent of this first map, the first round that we saw, where Exeter are going to get this early control onto the point, and it's going to be down to Banbury to respond. They did respond last time. It was thanks to the kind of ultimates they had coming out of that last map, so ideally should be the same thing here, but not if D-Man Johnson has anything to say to it.
Yeah, D-Man John chasing poor Monsoon around that corner, getting the axe out, getting that one final little swipe onto the Sombra there. Unlucky, but they did manage to build up quite a little bit of ultimate charge there. Oh, but we see Noreg nearly have that pulse bomb already. 97% and counting. One stick onto the right place here can make all the difference for them.
Pulse bomb thrown out. Unfortunately not able to find anything. Cleek managing to take down Sales. And a response back in kind by Miko, who's taken out there. And they're going to pop the Coalescence here. Out was there just trying to close this one out, knowing that they didn't have D-Man Johns anymore. They just wanted to hold on to this one, so only had to use one ultimate into that fight.
Yeah, and now Say has a pulse bomb to try and get a cheeky little sticky. You see them just having a look, watching if any target is going to stray into their direction, but it doesn't look like they're going to. Ultimate economy on both sides a little bit iffy, not too much to talk about at the moment, but it all depends on what comes out of this fight. Oh, that's what we're waiting for. That's what Say really wanted to get.
Huge pulse bomb onto Seals there, and Say's not done. Taking out their opposition in Noreg as well, and the third one in Monsoon as well. Playing an absolute crucial part into winning these fights the past couple of times, and only one ultimate again from Exeter having to be invested. Much better from them from this second map round.
Yeah, Say is a player who impressed me last year on their DPS skills, and it's good to see they haven't got rid of any of the shine from their performance here. But we've got a Death Blossom potentially going to get some people in a tiny little corner here for the Reaper, but this is final fight. Banbury have to make a push for it now.
This is very reminiscent from the last time, and the Death Blossom has gone in and managed to take out Green Purple. Green Purple did have the beat, unfortunately died with it, and now the beat of their own, they're going to be able to run over this Banbury team. You would have thought Snaggers are going to be the name of the game, and D-Man Johns unfortunately a little bit off the mark there with that rampage, but it should be okay. The rest of the team's going to be able to clean out these stagger kills, as Green Purple is not long for this world either.
Yeah, unfortunately, that Green Purple did go down with that beat there a little bit. A second earlier could have potentially saved the whole team. But yeah, good performance from Exeter. We are now 1-1. Nothing to separate these two teams at the moment. Both making incredible performances. Big shout out to both the players on the Tracers. I think they are currently the standout with these pulse bombs and just general pickling of the opposition. You know, getting them all down to low health and then finishing them as well. So great to see in Noreg. Big shout out to them, and of course the whole teams today. They've both made it all the way this final, and I'm sure they're going to go much further in the future.
Yeah, Banbury, it's kind of down to Noreg to really pop off, it feels, for sure, and they're doing a really good job of it so far. The second map was a great showing of exactly how difficult it can be without that additional damage coming out from your secondary DPS, but they switched off of that Sombra now over towards a Genji, so interesting to see if this change is going to make much of the difference going to the first fight. Already doing a little bit of chip damage, and Cleek get really low there, but a really nice shout and also amplification there from Nightfall has meant that they are able to stay alive. Seals though is going to take out their opposition in D-Man Johns. It's a 4v5 now on the point, as Exeter are looking like they're probably going to have to go back to respawn and back to the drawing board here, as the rest of Banbury are going to take out the Stragglers.
My heart was in my mouth there. Sleaze just seemed determined to get as many people off the map via an environmental as they could there, pushing them to the edge with that javelin spin, and green purple there trying to poof them off as well. In the end, they didn't need any environmentals. The damage was enough to see the majority of Exeter go down. But yeah, great attempt there. And this is one of the maps where you can do it so easily. You're boofing people off.
Definitely, and all the util had to come into Cleek to be able to keep them alive, and unfortunately, as soon as they didn't have that, they weren't able to keep them alive. And we have to see a nice ultimate from Seals, pushing them off the point. How did they manage to get 2 out of that Terror Surge? I have no idea, but it's managed to work somehow, and now Exeter have got to try and look to regroup with a thought. And they're going to have to get out, otherwise staggers are coming their way. Say though, does back up no rag. That's a little bit of an overextension then from there. So they are going to have to look to respect that and go back to point.
I couldn't be sure, but it looked like D-Man John got out of the range of that Terror Surge and then maybe walked back into it. I'm sure they didn't, but that's how it looked with my eyes. But you know, my eyes are kind of old now, so you can't really trust them. But yeah, where is Monsoon going with this Genji Blade?
Just trying to get the remainder of the a little bit of a stagger there to try and hold onto the point for a little bit longer, I think, as they did come straight back in with that coalescence from Malzir. Very quick fight from the side of Exeter to take control of this point for the first time this map.
Nice turnaround, but now you've got to look at that ultimate difference here. Banbury have so much more in the tank, including that Genji Blade. Nightfall has to be really careful and make sure that he does not die and that that feat is saved to keep the rest of the team alive when Monsoon comes a knocking.
How quickly they get onto this point. Seals though already taken a great deal of damage. They pop the blade, but the response from Nightfall as they do use the beat, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough. Nightfall going down to that one, 31% now for Exeter. They are going to be able to get a couple more picks and turn this one back around, as it's only Seals and green purple left. Are they going to pop the beat for here, or are they going to take their losses and go back to spawn? Looks like that's going to be the case. Exeter, despite all of that, win it out and still hold on to the point.
Still plenty of time to make this. They're coming up to about even by the time Banbury get back. So take into consideration saying Yelly has that pulse bomb. Is probably looking for a target as we speak. Not sure where to look off to, but yeah, they're probably going to try and stick that on something. There they are. Looking for somebody going around on the right hand side, it looks like. I'm not sure who that was. Probably no red trying to do the same. But we're going to get into a big fight here. Please just have that Terror Surge. Might go in for it.
Yeah, there it is, a big anti there onto them. A nice beat to supplement it and keep them alive. Unfortunately not able to find 2 like they previously did. D-Man Johns is going to take out Seals there. Not too sure if they know that they can actually stop it a little bit sooner, but Monsoon answer them back in kind, as they have now taken out 1, but they're still fighting this one 4v3. And it's just going to be so difficult for them to do so, as they are approaching last fight territory. I think that they probably got to try and stay alive. This is for the first map, so they have to try and get back to point relatively soon. 95 is tipping upwards, as we do manage to get the touch. They are going to be able to fight this one in overtime, but Pulse Bomb is going to be slightly off the mark. Nightfall almost falling down to it, however. Cleek managed to take out green purple on that Lucy. That's so crucial in this last fight, when you need every last little bit to be able to push it over the line. Seals is not going to be able to hold on either. Nightfall is going to take out that bladed Monsoon. Balls of steel from them to be able to hold on directly in the face of a blade and hold on to this map. And that's going to be first map to Exeter.
Oh, a nice attempt there with that Genji Blade right at the end, and then just gets booped in the face. That's how you got to do it to keep everything alive. Let's just have a look at who got that incredible play of the game here. Oh, it was alright. I had a feeling it was going to be one of these 2 Tracer players. They've been absolutely phenomenal so far. This was another day at the office for no reg, it seems.
Yeah, taking out both supports early on, you know that's a fight win in your back pocket, and a couple more supplement kills as well to be able to finish that one out. Looking so strong. I mean, it was really down to no reg to be able to carry that DPS aspect part of it. I know we've obviously seen changes to Sombra in more recent patches, but they're still really heavily dependent. She's really heavily dependent on that EMP, it still feels, as the bigger ulti to be able to use within their team composition. So getting that up means that they have to kind of dive in and dive out of the fight occasionally, and that leaves it down to no reg to be able to carry the majority of the DPS along with the rest of the team obviously backing it up.
Yeah, so great first map there from Exeter. Now we should have our next map ready because this is pre-recorded. We can go nice and quick through these matches today. Okay, so last one was Ilias, not Busan, and our next one will be King's Row, which we see time and time again because it is just simply the best map. Reinhardt's come back into a bit of popularity here, so I wouldn't be shocked if we see a little bit of Reinhardt going on. How about you, Puppy?
Fingers crossed. I mean, we all know that Reinhardt is everybody's favourite going into these types of maps. So be interesting to see exactly how they do so. Exeter are going to be the one to look out initially because obviously Banbury being in spawn until the clock hits 0 are going to be probably chopping and changing on those characters as we go through into this first map.
Yeah, the moment of waiting for everyone to pick their characters and for the game to actually start. But yeah, like I say, the honourable thing is to play Reinhardt on this map, but it's fallen a little bit out of favour now. There are so many more interesting heroes to choose from. You know what? I've seen a lot of Doomfist on this map recently as well. They've taken that high ground, smashing down on people onto the point. It looks like we're going to have a little bit of a Matra going on. He's kind of like Reinhardt. Yeah, he gets in, does some punches, has a shield. Potentially coming out from both sides here. Maybe a bit of rush sort of thing coming out from Exeter here with the Mate and the Reaper. I really like that composition with the Moira and the Lucio as well. You can't really go wrong. It's a classic. Usually played with Reinhardt, but you know, Ramatra is just as good these days. Monsoon potentially going to get a cheeky little pick from that high ground. Gotta be really careful. Make sure they don't get peeked back. From potentially a right click could be happening. But if they get an early pick, this is all they need to just absolutely go crazy onto the raiding people. And oh my gosh, they're actually peeking! They must know somebody's hiding up there. It's just a given that there will be a Widowmaker hiding up at the top. They're playing a dangerous game right now.
Yeah, the really good thing about that is they got all the info ahead of this first fight to be able to tell exactly where they're playing and who they're playing as well. And it's going to be down to this entire Exeter team to make a choice of whether or not to push onto this Banbury team, as they probably have the Tracer at their backs at most times, and it's a complete mess and brawl as to be expected with a sort of May Reaper comp. Some great target focus sees Seals sent to an early grave. They do manage to get one onto Alzir, but it's going to be back to the drawing board for Banbury as they do build up a healthy ult economy going into this next fight.
Nice clean fight there. You saw the wall come out from Save straight away to sort of bottleneck them into that position. And then the rest of the team could just sort of like speed around and just have their way with everyone. Reaper running in there with a huge amount of damage, and that's all it took for them to get that first team win, which is pretty clean.
Looking to hop through this hotel route again. Potentially give Noreg an opportunity to push in behind them. They have popped a few of the abilities from Ramatra already, so not really going to have much to be able to hold on to this, but they've backed off into a nice corner and a nice wall segregates out Seals, and they're going to pop the Coalescence as well onto the back of it. It's probably going to be the end of that fight there for Banbury, who are looking to lick their wounds and get back into spawn.
Yes, Noreg needs to keep themselves very safe because everyone's aware that they are hiding in the back. Yeah, I think they'll probably get away because Tracer is probably faster than anything else that Exeter have. But yeah, another great wall there from Say, and I've been saying all season how crucial these May walls have been in pretty much every tournament in every region that we've had going on this season. Mays have been absolutely imperative.
Very much looking towards Monsoon here to be able to get a decent ulti off, to get that copy onto one of these big characters to be able to get into the fight. And they have got the Reaper now, and they're going to get that Death Blossom up really quickly alongside the Kiriko Kitsune Rush. But Fleek actually manages to take out that copy, so no Death Blossom going to be available. They are trying to now and keep themselves alive with that ult from Green Purple, a Rampage onto 3. That's the one of the DPS, the support, and also the tank that fall foul to that one. Death Blossom out from Fleek, unfortunately not going to be able to get much done. This Banbury look well in control of this point. It's just the two supports now left from the side of Exeter, and I've got a feeling they're not going to be able to get it done, though they are staying alive for a long period of time as the Lucio looks to push around the back, and now the Coalescence out from Azir is going to be the name of the game, and they are going to keep it alive. They managed to just turn this one back over into their favour, and the rest of Exeter now supplementing their team without that speed boost to get back in. I thought it was all for naught, to be honest, but Exeter managed to bring it back.
Yeah, if you can play this game for another 1 minute, or you can play this game for like another 5 minutes, you want to clean up as quick as you can, and if that means committing your ultimate, you got to do that just to try and stop this point from being taken. Both teams struggling on the ultimate front now, so if anyone's game is just going to be dry fights all the way, with only 40 seconds left, we are nearly done.
An early pick there from Say onto no reg means that they're going to have to do this 4v5 unless they look to back up, but I don't think Exeter are going to give them the opportunity to do so. Already pushing them back through this choke. They've got lots of space now to be able to clear to get onto this point and potentially push it to a further than just the first point here. Exeter are doing an absolutely sublime job on this composition to keep them at bay, and they do have the ultimates now for the side of Banbury, but they're going to have to use them now. Coalescence used initially, the Kitsune rush in response from Miko, and then the copy as well out onto Monsoon, and they're going to be building up towards that ulti very, very quickly if they're not careful. No reg picks up Nightfall. That's one of the supports now for the side of Exeter, but they do take the point. They aren't able to hold on to it, as the Annihilation does get popped by Monsoon on that copy, and it picks up 2. And that's the first point going to to Banbury. Just great stuff there, pushing on top of them.
Yeah, unfortunately, nobody was quite able to maintain themselves on that point there to stop it from being taken. I thought maybe Halcyon might have been up touch, but they had a copy Dramatra there threatening them with the Annihilation not to come on the point, and so they just couldn't touch it. They just couldn't make that stoppage. Unfortunately, here we go with another 2.5 minutes for them to try and hold up this point B.
Looking to push back very, very quickly with this Annihilation in pocket. Straight on top of them, the Coalescence popped in response from Green Purple, but unfortunately a really well placed wall has meant that the Seals again has found themselves blocked off on the rest of the team. Heinen comes out and picks up Nightfall, and the rest of the team are going to collapse on top of this this Exeter team, and that's a really nice fight for them, seeing as they lost Seals so early on.
Banbury have found their feet a little bit more now. It seems that they've found their stride with this Zarya, no doubt, with that Graviton ready to go. You know, all it takes is a little bit of character change now and again. I see we've got a Cassidy as well. Seems to be a better look for them, and it's working, and that's all they need. They could just grab them away from the point here and get it through the door if they wanted to.
Oh, nice Blizzard out early, but the entirety of Banbury had enough time to be able to get out of it, and unfortunately Steel's going down as well. That means that it's probably going to be the fight over from them. It looked a little bit airy there for Exeter for a second, considering that the Blizzard didn't really get much done, but it prevented them being on point and also split them up a little bit as well, so I think eventually it caused enough chaos to be able to get this fight win done.
This now becomes a really awkward fight for Banbury because there's so far to run for them. I think it's a little bit shorter for Exeter at this point. But yeah, it's such a long run back from here. They have got the ultimates coming out though. We've got a Kitsune Path, a Copy, and a Graviton from Sleeve. So it could go their way. They need to be very careful as Nightfall does have that beat counter anything that they're going to push through with though.
And we've got to be expecting that Cleek's going to be there as well to be able to supplement the kind of defense as well. Graviton Surge comes out, but no reg's already gone down, and there's the ultimate that we're talking about. The Death Blossom out from Cleek means that Steels were not able to get close enough, and into overtime we go. But I don't think these supports are going to be able to pull out the impossible like this side of Exeter did. So it's going to be only 1 point and 179 meters for the side of Banbury, but a good push nonetheless.
Yeah, good work there from Exeter to keep that held right at the final moment there before they've kicked over into point 2. Good ultimate use as well. Nightfall, very astute, knew exactly when to throw that beat down, keep everybody alive from that grab. And yeah, it was a good performance from them. Unfortunately, they have lost the first point though, and it's gone all the way up to the tippy top of the second point. So it's very losable for Exeter. They've got to be careful about how they do this. They've got to be very quick and very efficient, get themselves as much time as possibly can to make that push. I feel like we're probably going to see similar as we have been from them so far. Probably, yeah, pretty much with the speed boost from Nightfall on that Lucio Alzia, on the Moira, and D-Man Johns continuing on with that Ramatra, the May. But Cleek coming out with the Soldier this time, maybe going to switch after a little while and go back to that Reaper for more of the Deathfall composition. And Banbury keeping it real with the Cassidy and Monsoon on that Echo. That worked quite well for them towards the end of that last point.
Yeah, Yeah, it definitely seemed to work for them really, really well. Monsoon struggling to get a good copy off the first couple of times they had it, but the last one seemed to be the third time's a charm, as they are setting up now for this defense. It's going to be a interesting one, and I feel that they have to take as much time off of this first point as possible if they're going to have much of a chance against this Exeter side to be able to bring this up even in terms of maps. But into the first fight we go, and they're going to push through a similar sort of position through this area and straight in onto the point there as D-Man Johns is looking to try and take out their opposition in Seals. Seals get really, really low, and No-Reg having to back off as well, as the entirety of the team is just struggling to hold on. The DPS also really just keep backing up. D-Man Johns is having absolutely none of it as they push right the way in and destroy No-Reg and Monsoon. They are going to get a relatively quick first point, it feels.
Yeah, that was very nice and clean for them. Chasing No-Reg and Monsoon all the way into the back rooms there. And they did manage to catch him on so low HP for such a long time there. Lovely awareness there from Miko, being able to jump out when the goal gets broken, when they figure, actually, I'm probably not going to get a kill here against 5 players. But yeah, that's all they need to do to get back to the team. And this point gets rolling. 5.5 minutes on the clock. It's a pretty good time ban.
No-Rag with an early pick though, looking to push this one back right before the choke point as well. 2 picks from No-Rag, as they are going to be able to take control of this point again. D-Man John's not able to do much there as they have to try and get back to the spawn and regroup. But Exeter have the ultis to be able to hold on to this one for, to push this one back. Banbury have a couple on their side as well, so it's a really even fight coming into this next one.
Yeah, I feel Banbury definitely have to work hard to be protecting themselves here. They need to be quite aggressive with the ultimates, but it looks like Exeter are going to be aggressive with the ultimates instead, and that might be in their favour.
Yeah, Correlation's out from Alzir. Oh my god, the entirety of Exeter so low from the high noon. No-Rag does manage to pick up one off the back of the annihilation from D-Man Johns. Not doing much apart from holding a little bit of space, unfortunately. Monsoon eventually going to help eliminate them as Banbury do take that one, but at the expense of a couple of support ultimates.
But now they've got a tank and a DPS ultimate coming straight on, and we know how good Annihilation can be for Sleeves here. You need to push everyone straight back. Say, however, with that Blizzard, that could be a game-winning one as well if that goes in the right place, especially if anything else gets committed before then, which it has been.
Annihilation used in response. Seals going to be trapped up, but Say's having none of it. They've gone straight into the back line and takes out a couple there really early on. That's a third now for Say as well, and it's only this this Ramattra that's left, so just completely ignoring the Annihilation seems to be the name of the game for both of these teams as they are pushing forward towards this victory circle.
Yeah, a bit weird there. The Blizzard came out and Sleeves popped the Annihilation there. It was kind of like, you can't really walk towards that Blizzard out. It's a little bit awkward there. But, you know, they just cleaned up after that. It was quite a nice fight, but very clean and very easy. But ultimately coming online, we've got 2 Death Blossoms, 1 apiece here, but Nightfall with that beast, gotta be careful he doesn't get caught first.
They want to be getting another fight out of this if possible, so they're going to use that ultimate early. Monsoon picks up one, and that's onto the support, the only one that had an ultimate as well, as they're trying to answer back, but unfortunately it's not going to be possible as the rest of the team is cleaned up. Exeter do have plenty of ultimates and plenty of time to get this one on the line, but this is a good start from a defense from Banbury.
Yeah, great attempt there. It looks like we might be dealing with the Delay from No-Reg there, but Exeter coming in with so many more ultimates, and they just got to win one team fight to really clean this up. And they've got 3 minutes to do it, so they've got a couple of attempts to do this here. It's not looking great for Banbury, but the game's not over yet.
Yeah, 2 support ultimates. The first one popped already. Alzir going to be using that one. They tried to use the high noon to get them to back off, and they're not going to be able to get much done onto D-Man, who's just using that block. And they're going to have an ultimate themselves to be able to use. But into this one, you got to be favouring Exeter. Still have plenty of check marks across the board. Cleek looking into the back line to get this ultimate off the beat, and also the Annihilation juice from Exeter. And on top of that, the Death Blossom is probably going to be enough to be able to push this one. But Kitsune Rush used in desperation there from Miko, but it's all for naught as Annihilation again is going to be one of those ones that's not used for much. Green Purple is still on top of the wall, desperately trying to keep Seals alive, and it's working so far until they lose their life, and then Seals is going to go down along with it. 1 minute 56 to be able to push this, only a few more meters, and it's down to No-Reg to be able to get something done. Having to use the Wreath Ball already, and the ultimate onto the point there from Say is probably going to clean this one up, and it certainly does as Kings Row goes to Exeter 2-0 to them.
Seals just would not die there, backed up against that wall with the Annihilation going. The whole team seemed to be punching them, but he just wouldn't go down. So that was a great attempt there from Banbury, great defense, but even better attack from Exeter as they made it through. This is some expert capacity here from No Red. What a great throwing that bomb into that little tiny room there, and then just cleaning up the rest of the team. So Exeter currently 2-0. It's looking pretty good for them, but this is a best of 7. So it's first to 4, not to 3 today. Now remember, we can count us 3. We've done it a couple of times this year. Bit of a change for us. But yeah, so far so good for Exeter.
Yeah, definitely, and it's off the back some really, really good ultimates, and neither of these teams are afraid of pressing W. It feels they're quite happy to get up in each other's spaces, and you can really see they're trying to counterplay with this macro game, but unfortunately it's not working. A prime example of we saw that they used a blizzard early into the fight, did Exeter, and in response, Banbury attempted to try and use the Annihilation to deter them from running forward, but Say was having none of it, just carried on running through and said, okay, if I can't kill you, then I'm going to kill the rest of your team, and that's exactly what happened. But we do have the next map available and ready to be shown, should be coming up on your screens ever so shortly, and it's going to be Survassa.
Yeah, Flashpoint map Survassa, and we are ready to go in as well straight away. I don't think that's what X is really going to come out with. Although I would love to see a Brig. I don't know if you've had a chance to play with the April Fool's patch, balanced Overwatch, where Brig is now about 10 foot tall. It's interesting, at least. Oh, and also Malga is about 1 foot tall.
I love the crazy little changes that they do on Overwatch, but it's bonkers. I hope that we get to see plenty more of that over the coming years of Overwatch, because it does make for some interesting interactions, especially when you look at the streamers when they get the first eyes on the craziness that Blizzard come out with. But yeah, going into this one, hopefully see a lot of cool heroes coming out and some changes from Banbury to get themselves into this one.
Yeah, they need to make a big comeback here. You say there is plenty of time though, as you do have to win 4 maps to win the best of 7. Sleeve may be coming out on the Sigma, which we don't see that much of, but he's still such a great character these days, so I wouldn't be mad about seeing that. Miko potentially coming out on the Mercy, and Baptiste for Green Purple. It's a completely different look for them if this is what they come out rocking, whereas a very similar look from Exeter here. You know, that big rush sort of Death Blow composition with Say running around to tickle people from behind and get those cheeky little full spawns off, as they've been doing so well today. D-Man John's taking that Junker Queen, which, you know, those rampages, those axes have been absolutely spot on today.
Yeah, it's going to be positional advantage for Exeter early on here with all this movement speed that they've got, and they've already got position above the entirety of Banbury, and they're going to push directly into them. 3-4 of them going really low, and again Seals falls down early on as unable to deal with the onslaught that was coming their way. They don't really have the ability to be able to pull out because they don't have the speed from something like a Lucio to be able to do something about it, and to be honest, Sigma doesn't really have much to negate it either once you got rid of the kinetic grasp.
Yeah, that lack of Lucio I think might be hurting them a little bit, you know, without that speed boost to get around, especially on these flashpoint maps which are so big and they take so long to get back to the point when you need to.
Yeah, I harp on a lot about the Lucio pick in a flashpoint map, and there's a reason for it, because it's not only good for getting you back onto the point but also disengaging as well. Look how quickly they can lapse onto No Red with that all those util that they've got, the speed boost and everything else. The shout is just so quick to get on top of anyone they want. Green Purple does a great job of taking out Say. Gotta respect the Baptiste, can pump out some damage, but eventually is probably going to go down as D-Man Johns dispatches of them, but they're already up at 70%.
Yeah, Green Purple really made a play for themselves there and actually survived quite a long time. Unfortunately, did not manage to get out and just became another stagger for Exeter as they continue to get to 85% here. It's unlikely Banbury are going to be able to touch. Although we see the attempt here. Now, what Exeter don't want to do is now pull somebody forward onto the point. I don't think anyone's going to touch. No, it is going to flip over to Exeter here. and they are going to run to the next point potentially with that speed boost from Nightfall, but no speed from Banbury, so they're a little bit slow. Especially with Arissa, who kind of needs that little bit of boost. Maybe the rest of them are okay, but I feel Arissa just needs a little bit of speed.
It feels like Banbury are happy to take this fight, if I'm honest, because they get an opportunity to be able to get some ults out and potentially put Exeter in a bit of a difficult situation, and they've done so really well, forced lots of ultimates out from Exeter and won the fight as well. Left with 3 checkmarks still as well. Only had to use the overclock and the blade to be able to win that one, but the point isn't quite open yet, so but they're going to have to try and hold on to this one as long as possible if they're going to have an opportunity in this map.
Got quite a lot of defensive capabilities here, especially with the amplification matrix from green purple that can keep everybody at bay for a while. Arissa with a Terror Surge, they can stop Exeter from coming on this point if they want to. They just to be very careful about which door Exeter are going to come through.
Yeah. Oh, nice spear there onto D-Man Johns. It stops that rampage from going off. They're going to capitalise on it too. That's a great start. They did use both support ultimates, unfortunately, for the side of Banbury. I feel like that might be a little bit of an overcommittal, but nonetheless, it's a good fight win overall for them, and they're going to hold on to this point for a little longer.
Yeah, just for a little longer, but they're already at nearly 60%, which is a huge amount on here. Exeter probably only have one more fight in them to try and take this point with the distance that they have to run back, although they do have the beat and the Death Blossom to come out with here. Sleeve still holding on to that Terror Surge. It's going to have to be a good one to keep Exeter from taking this point with the ultimate economy that they've got at the moment.
They're going to try and get on top of this backline here as D-Man Johns is leading the charge, but the entirety of the backline is left a little bit exposed, and Alzira unfortunately is going to fall down to that one, but they have got a support pick of their own, and a nice ultimate there from Cleek is going to manage to take out the one of the DPS. A Terror Surge from Seals, and picks up a couple off the back of it as well. That's 4, and managed to steal that one out, and that's the second point going to go towards Banbury.
Wow, Seals the absolute MVP of that fight, I think, with that Terror Surge, managed to take down a whole bunch of them. It kind of looked like it was potentially lost for Banbury there, but yeah, Seals decided to show us what that Arissa can really do. The ultimate's now swinging into the favour of Exeter, I think, but that blade from Monsoon dangerously close, and no reg with that overclock coming up as well. Nightfall gotta be really careful not to get things for that beat doesn't work.
Because they managed to take such a late fight, are in position to be able to take a good fight here. And then look how quickly they try. They found someone that they want to focus on, and they just beam them down. No reg, having to take evasive maneuvers. Unfortunately, eventually does fall foul, but it meant that Miko had to fly over and try and help them as well. And do they use much there in terms of ultimates apart from the coalescence? No, they don't. So that's a really good and clean fight from Exeter.
Yeah, not much at all. Still got that beat, and Say still has that pulse bomb as well. I have noticed D-Man Johns go on to the Zarya now. Interesting choice. They were doing absolutely fine on that Junker Queen, but maybe Zarya a better pick against Seals on this Arissa. Time will tell. But here we go. We've got 2 DPS coming up from Banbury now with their ultimate. These are game-changing ultimates as well. Really strong, and that could be a life or death for Exeter here as they try and hold up this point.
Looking at Say to get a decent pulse bomb off here. Looking at one of those supports potentially is the overclock has already been popped from no reg, but unfortunately not going to be able to get something done. Say picks up 2 with the pulse bomb. The blade has to be used for Monsoon, but not getting anything from it is the back on the back of it. They are just still flying about with nothing to be able to pick off. It's just Exeter all the way.
What a pulse bomb from Say. Like, what can you say about this player? No pun intended. Absolutely crazy on that Tracer. Managed to get a couple, and that really just swung the tide for them. 92%. I don't think anybody's going to touch, and if they do, it's going to be heavily staggered, so they probably don't want to. But it looks like they have to. They have to commit because they need to take this fight.
Coalescence going to be used by Alzir. The Terror Surge has been used in response. Manages to pick up Say. That's a big source of damage that we found. Green-purple has gone down. It's 1 support less now for the side of Banbury, and they are going to eventually be able to do something about it. The Graviton Surge is used, but unfortunately doesn't really do much apart from hold Seals a little bit still for a little while. They're still staying alive somehow. Eventually he does go down, but Banbury have already got the point done. They're going to have to hold on to this one for a long time, but the use of that Graviton Surge is going to be probably working to their favour here, it feels.
Yeah, they can hold on to this for a little bit longer now because they've got the ultimate economy for days here. The amplification matrix, no res can potentially get a cheeky little pick with that pulse bomb. And Miko nearly has Valkyrie as well, so I think they can hold on to this for at least 70% up until kind of last fight territory if they use those ultimates wisely. We've got a Tracer battle going on up here.
Yeah, it looks like Nure's going to go back and team up with the rest of the team. And a pulse bomb used into the back. Unfortunately, it was onto a Reaper, so was able to get back. Say is able to get a nice stick there onto Green Purple, who had to use the immortality field earlier on and is looking for more. But a nice res going to come out onto Green Purple means they're back up to near enough full strength. And I don't really know who's in control of this fight, if I'm completely honest, but it feels like very much Banbury are, and you would expect that with the amount of ults they had coming into this one.
Yeah, we did say Banbury would be able to hold on to this for a little bit longer. Now we did see the P's come up in the chat there to pause the game, so I think we are going to pause just for a little bit, but it's okay now, so I think we might be going into it pretty quickly. There we go. It's fine. It's fine. Straight back into it. But Banbury did manage to hold that one straight away, and it looks like they've got some good ultimates to come into the next match with. Feels really close to that Terra Surge. She's actually been really good on that Orisa today. And Monsoon with the famous Genji Blade, which at the moment Nightfall does not have the beat to counter, so that could be detrimental to Exeter if they're not careful.
They're going to have to get in relatively quickly though if they want to use it before this beat does come up. I don't know if they're tracking it. If maybe they're tracking well enough, they might know they can use it ahead of time, but that window has disappeared now. They try and use the Coalescence to get on the aggression and trying to focus down Monsoon, but they do have the support of Nico on that Mercy, but it's not enough at the moment. They're going to have to look for a res now as the entire team looks to back up, and that's a really good back up there as they now use the wings, the Guardian onto Miko. The blade comes out, but unfortunately the beat was there from Nightfall to cancel back. Now we've got the Graviton Surge from D-Man Johns, unable to take out No-Reg there, who manages to stay alive and eventually gets a pulse bomb onto Nightfall, but it's not going to be enough. Only Miko really left to be able to do something, as No-Reg is left to just back up and forfeit their life.
Everybody just pressed Q, it seemed there. Went a little bit crazy. Seals does still have that Terror Surge though. Say, with that Pulse Bomb, we'll be looking for a quick and easy pickup here in order to make this a 2-2 flashpoint map. If they can get an early pickup here, that is going to be game over for Banbury at this point. But it looks like they're not anywhere near the team at the moment. Maybe it's going to wait until somebody gets a little bit on their own there when they start pushing in.
Yeah, they do have a really nice use of the amplification matrix from Green Purple to force them off the point here. They're not going to be able to peek into this one, but a really good response from Exeter, who have backed off away from it and now going to use a Coalescence to re-engage onto this Banbury side. And look at Seals realising they have to try and create some space for the rest of the team. Terror Surge has been used, but Gleek has come out with something better, and it's a Death Blossom into the back line. And they've managed to take out the majority of them and take this point back over, and that's going to be back up to 2-2 now for the side of Exeter, and oh my god, we got a fight on our hands.
Yeah, next map is the winner. I love that from Banbury, the amount of ultimates they used to sort of like steer Exeter off the point, because if you ain't touching the point, you can't be contesting it. The window there from the Baptiste to make them all just go around the corner, then Seals just standing right there in the middle of that Terror Surge, making it as big as possible, so they had no choice but to back off. And oh, an early pick there!
Yeah, and that's onto No-Reg as well. That was Pulse Bomb pretty much disappeared now, and they have the speed boost to be able to collapse on the rest of this team if they want to, but opting to go back towards the point now that it's about to unlock and hopefully get back this ticking upwards on the percentage. And the rest of the team though are going to have to fight 4v5 as the rest of the team really trying to look to collapse on top of them. They do get both supports into this Graviton Surge and manage to dive directly on top of them despite Seal's efforts to try and create some space, and that's going to be a reset for Banbury unless Fleet can get some staggers here, which they do manage to do. And yeah, a really good first fight there on this last point for Exeter.
Yeah, valiant attempt from Seals there to try and push everyone away from the fourth players who are stuck into that Graviton Surge, but unfortunately not enough, as it just kind of like went around Seals and killed the Mercy and the Moira who were stuck in that. Yeah, this is still going pretty strong here from Exeter, 49%, a few ultimates online on both teams here, and here comes the Coalescence.
Yeah, already taken out Monsoon, who had that blade as well. And look, oh, Alzir, unfortunately, maybe a bit of a mouse issue there into the back line, but it looks like they're going to be able to take the entirety of this Banbury team. They're so clean with it. Every single time they're looking to engage, they have a clear idea of what they want to do, and they do not stop until they've got that target down.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try and take the fight early here. They don't want Banbury to even get anywhere near the point, although it looks like Noreg is going to make an attempt to touch it and goes down! And nobody can touch!
Oh, it wasn't enough to get onto the point. That's heartbreaking for Banbury. They had so many ultimates to work with, but just had to touch the point, weren't able to do so, and it just didn't work out for them in the end. And Seals, a bit of a consolation prize here as they do get the play of the game. It was this Terror Surge onto 2, getting the 3rd and the 4th, using their spear, really, really nice there, onto Say. Such a small target to hit, such a big spear.
We've got to give a shout out to Seals as well for those javelin throws today. Also stopping the rampage as well, coming up from D-Man. John's absolutely chef's kiss on that Orisa. Unfortunately, not enough though, as Exeter are going to go into this final match. It is match point for them. They are 3-0 at the moment. And can Banbury make a comeback here? They've definitely shown signs of life though. This has not been a one-sided fight at all. They've been doing absolutely phenomenal. But do you think they can actually pull this back, Puppy?
I think they've shown real good signs of sort of the teamwork they have together. It's very similar of this Exeter team. It just feels like Exeter is just executing these fights so much better. They have a clear understanding of what they want to do. They know they seem to be understanding their limitations so very well. You know, when they use ultimates, they don't stop focusing until they take down that specific target. You can tell they're comming really well just from the fact that they're all focusing on one person to take down. And yeah, it's unless Banbury can match that, then I feel like it's going to be a quick sweep. So, but this next map is going to potentially be the last one that we see, and it is going to be Esperanza. Hopefully they can push it back into their favour, Banbury, but we'll have to wait and see whether or not they can.
Yeah, good old push map. You know, we used to have so many of these at the start of the day, but now we've gone back to control point. But yeah, push map is it can be very one-sided or it can be very 50-50. It just depends on the sort of teams you've got. And I think this could be a very backwards and forwards day for little Timmy the robot here. Especially if we continue how we've been continuing on these maps today. I mean, that Flashpoint map couldn't have been much closer. But here we go. It looks like we may have a new sub here in the form of Jacko coming on the DPS. But other than that, everyone else seems to remain the same. And let's see what characters we're going to be picking here. I do expect Exeter to come out with a very similar look to how they've been coming out so far. Banbury have been a little bit more flexible though. So let's see what they're going to rock. Are you really going to rock the Life Weaver? We'll find out.
Really excited to see Esperanza, if I'm honest, because it feels like we constantly see New Queen Street as the preferred option in terms of maps for a majority of these teams across Student Champs and Women in Esports. So it's going to be a real treat to be able to see these teams battle it out on a different stage, on a different map. So battle it out we shall, as both teams have a very similar comp going into this one. The only difference is one of the DPS, Jacko, who actually I think is subbed in. No, Monsoon was the DPS previously.
Yeah.
So this kind of changed a few roles, and Jacko has subbed in, I believe. But going straight into this fight is going to be very quick to get on top of each other, and it looks like Exeter already taken the fight to Banbury before potentially they were even ready. Jacko, a big source of that damage, has now gone down. Seals is going to try and get something done off the back of that, but unfortunately unable to, as the second DPS has now gone down for Banbury.
And they just don't stop running into them. We've got a little bit of a Junker Queen. 1v3 or something unfortunately going on here, and it is going to go in Exeter's favour as they start to push this. I think somebody else might be sneaking around the back there for Banbury, and I don't think yeah, it's the Lucio's green purple, and Unfortunately, they have no choice but to let them get away because Lucy will be really quick when he'll be riding on them walls. But yeah, Banbury have got to think about something here. Maybe they change some things up. Maybe they need to have a little bit more communication, a little bit more target focus. I'm not sure what they can do to improve this here.
Yeah, they felt a little bit split towards that first fight, it has to be said. And weren't quite understanding exactly what they need to do, but this time it's a slightly different. No reg taking an our position in Say, but Banbury getting so low. Two of them really, really low. Jacko as well is going to eventually go down, and now they do have the advantage for the side of Exeter with that tank still up, and they are going to take advantage of it. D-Man Johns picking up two as well, helping out the rest of the team. They're going to be able to push this one towards this first point.
Yeah, great comeback there from Exeter. Just when you think they're down, and it looks like they've got somebody cornered up there. Is that the Moira? Is that Monsoon? Oh, unable to get away, and that is a huge stagger. Although they are going to take this over to the central point here, which I believe is they're pausing again, asking for another pause. Somebody having a bad time here. Are we back in? Yeah, we're back in. Obviously, we can cut out all those long pauses because we are pre-recorded here as we go into this next fight. Exeter now have got the halfway mark, and it's looking good for them with this Rampage maybe upcoming.
It could be a big one. Coalescence is going to be used by our Zir to get this one started early on. A response from Green Purple that beats out, but they're having to use the Coalescence as well as Seals got so low. But a nice rampage into the back is going to get a decent amount of damage done, but no Reg's there to get back into the back line as well. And they are going to be able to take it back, but look at D-Man Johns, just all up in the face of Seals and Green Purple, and Green Purple's already gone down, and I don't feel Seals is long for this world either. Does have the rampage, but not going to be able to get it off, as they are pushing the point back in the opposite direction. That's a good little trick there from No Reg to be able to get it back.
Yeah, didn't quite manage to make it to the halfway point, which would have cancelled out that early spawn there from Exeter, and unfortunately No Reg has been caught on their way back to safety by Say. So this is going to be a little bit more of a stagger for the Banbury team, as this fight might be going ahead without No Reg.
You don't mind it so much. No Reg already respawned, and the rest of the team is going to be able to get a decent way up into the faces of Exeter. And look, they've got a decent position, and Cleek knows it as they do use the tactical visor, the beat there from Nightfall to cancel out that rampage that came out from Seals, and the beat in response from Nightfall is going to keep them nice and healthy. So Banbury, it's down to them really to do something out this fight. It feels very much like their last chance to do so, as they don't have much to work with after this. Say all the way up to this pulse bomb potentially soon, and Banbury still not stopping this one. They're saying no signs of slowing our Exeter, and they're going to have to do something relatively soon. It's got to be off the back of some individual plays, it feels. You're looking at No Reg or Seals to get something done. Jacko obviously pumping out a decent amount of damage, but hasn't got the pick-off potential necessarily as No Reg and Seals have.
Very little ultimates on the side of Banbury as well. We've got a Coalescence potentially coming out. No stick there from Say at that point, but it doesn't matter because Cleek is doing the work of 5 DPS at the moment, and that's good enough.
That's it. Say into the back line now on these all, Seals getting really low. Green Purple the only one left on slither of HP, and they're eventually probably going to go down. Yeah, there we go, a little bit of a stagger. They do have a close spawn now, so they have the opportunities to be able to push this one back, but it's going to have to be off the back of only a couple of ultimates on the supports. Exeter looking to try and get D-Man Johns back in because they have this rampage. The Kitsune Rush is used early, but it's not really done much apart from force Exeter away, who have respected it, and they're going to look to re-engage now, potentially with this rampage. Exeter is on their side, both teams pop in the Coalescence, and the ultimate, the rampage, jumps over the top of the entirety of the Banbury side, as you do see this fight just divulge into complete chaos. They're really desperate trying to take out D-Man Johns, and eventually will get taken down, but Cleek's there with the tactical visor, and they are going to be able to find one and potentially a second out onto Seals, who's just desperately trying to hide away. Now it's down to Monsoon to try and take them out. Monsoon does manage to get that one, but
the point!
The point's always there.
Yeah, that was so close being taken there. I think somebody just managed to dive out with spawn right at the last second there. Lots of people hiding in corners, desperately trying to survive, but they didn't realise how close the point was getting to that spawn door. But Exeter there, they nearly took it. but it's such a long way to push back now. Over half the time has gone. We're on 4 minutes, and they've got the entirety of the map to go have Banbury if they want to get anywhere close to making this a win for them.
Yeah, looking at the top of the screen, if you're a Banbury fan, you got to be thinking it's a tall order to be able to come back into this one. 0.36 meters is all they've managed to push it so far on this last map. And D-Man Johns is not going to give them much more as they're still keeping them on this. Seals, though, is going to try and answer back. Jacko has popped this tactical visor and done plenty of damage. The rest of the team able to collapse on these targets that are getting really low. They are able to get it started, get that push going.
Yeah, let's get a little bit of red on that board there. They have to take every opportunity they can to push this. They've got to leave somebody on the point because the aim of the game is to push it further, and if it's not pushed further, then this is just a fight for 3 minutes until they lose. So we've got to get some distance on that bot here.
Yeah, Seals going a little bit away from their team there. Has got the utility to be able to keep themselves alive, but now they're going to have to get healed up. They do have a few ultimates for the side of Banbury, but Seals is stuck in a corner. Click, unfortunately, does manage to take himself out with that ult. Sorry, the rocket. But Seals getting stuck in a corner, just kind of making me laugh a little bit there. But it looks like Banbury are able to keep that one going despite being hindered by a tree. I think they're still hindered by a tree. I think they're still stuck behind the tree, Susie.
Oh no, yeah, it looks like they're not moving very much, and I think we've all got a little bit stuck on some scenery time and time again. Can they actually get out of there? Yeah, I think they're asking for a pause. Yeah, Rissa is stuck. Oh no, I've never seen anybody get that hardly stuck before.
This shouldn't be a thing. Surely
No.
not.
It's a small indie company, you know, they haven't got very money to things like this. Right, they're offering the other team to come and kill Orisa to get them back, and in the spirit of good sportsmanship, I think they're going to do that nice and easy and maybe wait for the respawn. And that's what we love about student champs, you know, they're going to walk away from the bot and they're going to let the fight continue from where it should be. But yeah, I've never seen that, ever. If this was Overwatch League, then that team would be calling for Blizzard's head.
Yeah, I mean, what would you do there? Like, it's such a weird situation to be in. But fair play to Exeter for entertaining the kill there onto Seals to allow them to reset and get back into this one. Happy to see that sportsmanship coming out from them. They do have the check marks now as well, so you've got to be expecting their favour coming into this one. They're going to look to re-engage Cleek. Unfortunately caught emoting in the backline there. Coalescence has been used now from Alexir, and the beat as well, and the Rampage has been invested now for the side of Exeter. So they've got to get something off the back of this because they've invested so much off of this. Pulse Bomb is going to be used. Nurek managed to find Cleek. I don't know if they were still emoting in the backline, but they managed to get that one nonetheless. A response there from Say. You've got to think that maybe this might be favouring them, as they do have a tank still alive in D-Man Johns. And it looks like they're going to be able to convert this into a fight when 40 seconds left on the clock.
And it looks like we are going to push back into the blues in here. Banbury unable to get a little bit further. And you've got to think, like, not only the inconvenience of not being able to move during the fighting session, but also the time that was ticked off the clock due to that issue with the Orisa being stuck in the tree. That's very unfortunate for them because they needed every second that they can possibly get as we go into potentially final fight territory right now.
Yeah, may work against them here. If they, what they could have potentially done is look to... enough of that, I can talk about that later. The tactical visor has been used. Coalescence in response from Alzir. Nice spear onto onto Cleek. Managed to stop that one from happening too much, and that's going to be that one closed out from the side of Exeter. Really good job from them, and great showing a sign of sportsmanship, so you can't say that they don't deserve it.
Yeah, and that is going to be 4-0 to Exeter, and that means they are going to be going to our LAN Grand Finals. D-Man John, our final play of the game, to see us out here tonight. And I've got to say, both these Junker Queens today, the Rampage has been absolutely on point, catching so many people in purple. D-Man John's doing a great job today, as well as Seals there, so congratulations, both of you. But yeah, that is an Exeter 4-0 clean sweep. Like, I know we talked a little bit about the time loss there from the Orisa being stuck in the tree, which I think is going to go down in British esports history. But I think they were already so far ahead here. I'm not sure there was too much coming back for Banbury there.
Yeah, I don't think you can exactly say that the tree was the MVP, because I think that overall the game was very much in the favour of Exeter, even after the shenanigans of that. That's so funny. Blizzard, please remove the foliage from your maps, because
Remove
clearly
tree.
it's causing some sort of issues with some of your larger characters like Orisa, who are unable to get out of that stupid little spot. So that's absolutely hilarious. But none of that. Enough of that. We go on to the MVP. Who's your MVP?
Honestly, both teams have actually been really good today. Banbury would definitely have some consideration, but I think we do have to look at the winners today, who are Exeter. For me, although I think everyone has really performed today, both the support players have been great, our tanks have been great, our DPS have been great. For me, the standout is probably going to be Say today, although everyone's been really great. How about you, Puppy?
Yeah, I mean, the entirety that the team is clearly being led from the front in this situation. I felt like you can kind of clearly see when teams are communicating very, very strongly, and I'm going to make a strong guess that D-Man Johns is doing so from the front. Every single time was involved in any of the eliminations, any of the plays, whether or not be playing Zaya and getting some decent Graviton surges and just taking out both supports on that I can't remember the map type. Yeah, so that the third map, whatever it was.
Oh, the third map, Flashpoint.
Thank you. Yeah. So they seem to be having a wonderful job on regardless of whatever character they decided to play, whether it be Ramatra, the Zaya. They had a really good showing. So I think mine's going to be D-Man Johns today.
Yeah, like I say, you could make a case that anybody on that team, like I say, both tanks being crazy. I did enjoy both the Junker Queens there as well, brilliant rampages, and let's have a big shout out to the whole team. They've actually been incredible, and Banbury as well. Commiserations, fell at the final hurdle, but you've been a great team in this entire season as well. So thank you, Exeter. You will be going to our grand finals, but who will you be playing? We don't know yet. We will find out in a few weeks when we get the other half of the final matches coming in. But that is all we've got for you today. Thank you very much for joining us. Puppy, have you got any final thoughts for everyone?
Oh, keep playing, and we hope to see you on the other side. Enjoy your Easter break, and take a step.
Yeah, and we'll see you after the Easter break. Don't forget to follow us on social media, and don't forget to follow British Esports, obviously, as well. And we will see you for some more Overwatch very shortly. Have a great day, everybody, and catch you later. Bye-bye.